Jai Ma, as you all can see, it's a pretty majestically serene place. It has the sacred Panchavati. Panchavati is you can say, a sacred grove of five very brilliant, five very important trees, which are considered very important in a religious point of view in Hinduism. And also they have some very added benefits. Some are medically very important, some clean the air. So it's Panchavati. Historically, in Hinduism, uh, in India, Panchavati or such sacred groves of five trees have been used since time immemorable by sadhakas, by great saints, sages, for doing penance, for doing tapasya. One can visit the Panchavati where Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa did his sadhana, which is still there. One can go and have darshan of that Panchavati at Dakshineshwar. So this place is another very, very, very sacred and holy places which exists in India today, but not known to many. This place is Ānanda Teerth. Ānanda meaning bliss, and Teerth, which means pilgrimage, a place of pilgrimage, a holy place. So Ānanda Teerth means the pilgrimage to bliss. As very apt for this place, one just needs to sit here and just needs to be there, needs to be here at Ānanda Teerth. Here, Ānanda Teerth, the pilgrimage spot where one can find to rephrase it, one can say, one can experience the eternal bliss which is always there inside us. Here, this Ānanda Teerth is associated very, very, very deeply with Ānandamayee. As you can see, here is the ever flowing Ganga or Ma Ganga, the Patita Pavani, one who purifies a sinner from all sins, all kind of sins, the one who gives lives, the one who nourishes, the one who takes care as a mother, and the one who is revered by what? Billions and billions of people who have faith in her. Actually, this is the original Ganga. Ānandamayee had said that this is the original Ganga in Haridwar. So Ānanda Teerth is just opposite to Sri Sri Ānandamayee's Mahasamadhi temple, Mandir, Sri Sri Ānanda Jyoti Peetham. It is just on the opposite side. This place, as you can see, this beautiful hut or kutiya, this is Sri Sri Ānandamayee's kutiya or hut. Ma used this kutiya in several occasions in Mumbai, Bombay. This kutiya was shifted here from Bombay or Mumbai, and this kutiya was made in Ma's service by Mr. B.K. Shah. In today's world, many people may not know him. He is one of the pioneers of insurance in India. One can just Google out his name, Mr. B.K. Shah. And one can now know that Mr. B.K. Shah's daughter, Sunaina, is the mother-in-law of famous film actress Juhi Chawla. Yes, you heard that right. Juhi Chawla, Juhi Chawla's entire family, that is her entire in-laws family, they are Sri Sri Ānandamayyee's devotees, big-time devotees, long time devotees. So her her mother-in-law Sunaina. So BK Shah is, you can say BK Shah is Sunaina's father, Mrs. Sunaina's father. Juhi Chawla and others, they many times have visited, and who not, from Juhi Chawla to many celebrities, many saints, many sages from ages, and they still keep visiting, either in human form or in astral form. The speciality of Ānanda Teerth is that this entire beautiful house was dedicated to Ma, and the beautiful Panchavati and everything, by a very old devotee of Ma from Calcutta, Mrs. Ranu Ghosh. So why it's so important? This was the last, this house, I exactly don't know, but this house was made in the very early 80s, and Sri Sri Ānandamayyee's last birthday celebrations, which was also known as Sri Sri Ānandamayyee's Janmotsava. Janma, that is birth, and Utsava means celebration. So the celebration of Ma's birth, or Ma's, what you can say, Ma's grace of coming among us. So her last Janmotsava was celebrated here. And so many people also hold a bad, you can say, emotionally strong memory with this place, because this was the place where her last Janmotsava was celebrated, and after that she left her holy body and mixed her in her cosmic form on 27th August 1982. So many people have that oh, this place is the place where Ma's last celebration was done, and Ma's last birthday celebration, and after that she left. But interestingly, Sri Sri Ānandamayee herself gave this place the name Ānanda Teerth. Ānandamayyee's Ānanda Teerth. Ānandamayee, the one who is always ever blissful. Ānandamayee, which is another name of goddess Kali. Ānandamayee, who is the source of all bliss and love. So it is her Ānanda Teerth, the Teerth, the pilgrimage spot where one can find bliss. Also, it also houses a beautiful house which was dedicated to Ma, where one can visit, one can still have darshan of Ma's room. Also, some of Ma's, very few, but some of Ma's belongings, like her some clothes, some gifts which were given to her by devotees, her handwritten, Sri Sri Ānandamayee wrote very less, that also in her very early years. Some, you can see her handwritings here, what she wrote little bit. You can see Ānandamayee's handwork. Ānandamayeee was perfect. Ānandamayeee, who was also known then as Nirmala Sundari Devi, who also was a householder, who was married to Miss Sri Ramani Mohan Chakravarti, moreover known as among devotees as Baba Bholanath. So Ma was a perfect wife, a perfect householder, and so she was just perfect in household works, including crafts work. So you can see some of the craft works of Ma's hands here. So it houses the earthly belongings of Ma, but you can also feel Ma here in a very, very, very tangible presence of Ma is here. It's a beautiful, beautiful ghat. Its name is Ma's Ghat, Maka Ghat. So in Ma's Ghat, you can come and you can just sit. If you would like, you can just take a holy dip in Ganga. Also, here is Ma's Kutia. Which houses a beautiful photograph of Sri Ānandamayee and her mother, Sri Mokshada Sundari Devi. And after she took sannyas, she was known as Sri Sri Muktananda Giriji Maharaj, who happens to be my mother's, Sri Kajal Chatterjee's guru, and also my Nana and Nani, that is my maternal grandfather and grandmother's guru. So here you can see Ma inside her room, and there on the left you can see Didima. Didima in Bengali, Didima means the maternal grandmother. So because she is Ānandamayee Ma, who is Ma, the mother, so her mother is Didima, the maternal grandmother. On the right, you can just come here, sit, look at Ma, talk with her, share your sorrow, share your joy. You can also sing. Many may not know that Ma always encouraged people to sing. She always loved to hear songs. So you should come here and sing a song to Ma. And now I will show you, there is this beautiful, beautiful garden. It's beautiful. And here is the Panchavati, you can see. Okay. So come here and explore which trees are there in the Panchavati and why it's so important. So coming down, I will show you now. So here it's so beautiful, incredibly beautiful. You can, here is Ma Ganga. Here is Ma's Ghat, Ganga Ghat. Ganga Ghat, here is Ganga. You can just walk down the steps, go down and sit or take a holy dip, meditate, or just be there in the moment. So here is the Ganga in her real manifestation, tangible manifestation, whom we can feel, who we can touch, in whose bosom we can enter and take bath. And here is her manifestation in the form of image, a beautiful image. This temple, blessed by Ma's presence, Ānandamayee Ma's presence, Ganga sitting very calmly on her Vahana, on her vehicle, and on the back you can see the mighty Himalayas from where she flows down. Also the mighty Himalayas, also the curving valleys of Himalayas from where Ganga comes down to grace this earth with her heavenly touch and to re-nourish life again and again since eternity. The Himalayas and the Himalayan valleys from where Ganga comes, they also represent Shiva's dreadlocks, Shiva's jata. So as per the Hindu version of story of Ganga's manifestation on earth, sage Bhagirath, he did penance, he did tapasya, because his ancestors were cursed by another Rishi Muni, and they became ashes because of some kind of sin they did, and their souls were trapped in fierce agony. And so Bhagirath did penance and he asked the Almighty, what should I do to make my ancestors go and make my ancestors, to get them relief from this agony. So the Almighty suggested that you need to bring Ganga from heavens, because Ganga is the goddess, river goddess of heavens. That's why we say Akash Ganga. Milky Way, as you all should know, Milky Way in India we call Akash Ganga. So sage Bhagirath did tapasya and he brought Ganga. But there was a problem. Ganga has such a force in heaven that she said that if I will directly come and descend on earth, Earth's tectonic plates will shatter. Earth will shatter and there will be just destruction. Goddess Earth won't be able to bear my force. So now what to do? So came in the scene Mahadeva, the great god, Mahadeva, Bholanath, Shiva. The only person or the only manifestation of the divinity who can tolerate Ganga's force was Shiva himself. So Shiva invited Ganga to first descend on his dreadlocks, Jata. And as Shiva lives in Kailash in the Himalayas, so Ganga descended first with her full force from heavens in Shiva's Jata, dreadlocks. And then Shiva opened his dreadlocks, his Jatas. And thus, flowing, dripping, Ganga's force was controlled by Shiva's dreadlocks. And then as Shiva opened all his dreadlocks, all his Jata, so from different strands of his dreadlocks, Ganga flowed in thousands and thousands of streams, thus descending on earth and purifying and giving salvation to sage Bhagirath's ancestors, and also giving salvation to humans, to nature, to everyone, since who knows. So here you can see Ganga, beautiful. You can feel her presence here. And so the Himalayan valleys, the gorges and other things actually represent Shiva's dreadlocks. And here you have Ganga. Devi Sureshwari Bhagavati Gange Tribhuvana Tarini Tarala Tarange Shankara Mauli Viharini Vimale Mama Mati Rastam Tava Padakamale. My mind, my soul rests at your holy feet, O Lord Ganga, O Goddess Ganga, O Ma Ganga. So here I will now take you to Ma's Ghat, where you just sit there for a while and you can absolutely feel Ma's very, very, very tangible presence and the power of the heavenly Ganga. So here we go. Here it is written in Bengali and in Hindi, Ānanda Teerth, which was the name given to this holy, very sacred place of India by Sri Sri Ānandamayee. Interestingly, Ma, when this entire building and entire place was being constructed, Ma, that's why I think she is called Ma, the mother, who takes care of every arrangement which is needed by her children. She had asked that a changing room must be made for women, for ladies, so that they can take bath here in Ganga and then they can change properly. But it was not made. So after many years, Ma's khayal or Ma's wish happened, and this ghat was renovated in the loving memory of this ghat. As you can read, this ghat has been renovated in loving memory of my parents, Mr. Robert and Mrs. Winsley Alexander, who both had Shri Ma's Darshan. May Ma's supreme kripa be with all her devotees forever. Ram and Parvati Alexander, 1st January 2018. So, Mr. Ram and Parvati Alexander, they are one of the very blessed Ma's devotees. Mr. Ram Alexander, along with one of his friends, Gadadhar, they lived with Ma for 10 years, did tapasya, did sadhana under Ma's direct guidance here. They stayed in ashram like as brahmacharis, and he renovated this blissful ghat, Ānanda Teerth, in the loving memory of his parents, who were also blessed by Ma. And what a beautiful prayer, that may Ma's supreme kripa be with all her devotees forever. Amen. And recently, this entire place was taken care by the entire ashram people, but particularly I would like to mention Mrs. Sri Beena Pandya and Mr. Keshu Pandya, a very old devotee family, been associated with Ma since early 40s or early 30s, if I'm correct. So they did, through Ma's inspiration, this entire ghat was renovated. Not only this, the entire Ānanda Teerth was renovated, and now anyone who came here few years back, they won't be able to recognize it. It's so changed, and in a good way, for the good. So for others, those who have never came, if you ever visit Haridwar, you must visit Kankhal, which is the oldest part of the city. And as per our shastras, as per our stories, it was here in Kankhal that Sati, the wife of Shiva, self-immolated herself when she was not able to hear more bad things which was being told to her by her father Daksha about her own husband Shiva. So she self-immolated herself. So when you visit Haridwar, make it a point to come to Kankhal and visit the Daksha Mahadev temple, where it is said Sati immolated herself, where she burnt herself with her Yoga Agni, and make it a point to visit Sri Sri Ānandamayee Ma's final resting place, where her supremely holy body was buried, or we can say was given samadhi. So here you can see a beautiful white marble temple dedicated to Ma, where she still rests, which is actually the supreme Shakti Peetha of India, well, according to Ma's devotees. And then make it a point to come here at Ānanda Teerth, at Ma's Ghat, take a dip in holy Ganga and experience Ganga's heavenly power, which can transform your soul if you feel it. And just be here in the moment, and you will feel Ānanda of your soul, the bliss which is always present. Jai Ma.